Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Smackdown, October 18th, 2024. This was okay show. I don't really have much to say here, so let's just get into it. Candice LeRae pinned Bayley. Apparently, Candice LeRae was teamed up with Nia Jax versus Bayley and Naomi, and Candice LeRae got the win from a distraction and a little bit of help from Indy Hartwell. So congratulations. I'm glad she finally got a win, so yay on Candice. We had a debut from the Motor City Machine Guns. They were in a triple threat tag team match for the number one contender for the tag team. There was actually two matches for a triple threat tag team match. The first match was with DIY, the Street Profits, and Pretty Deadly. Was DIY won that match, and then the Machine Gun, the Motor City Machine Guns versus Legado Fantasma versus A-Town Down Under, and the Machine Guns won. So next week there'll be a match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this is the first time that I actually seen them wrestle, and they weren't too bad. I've heard of them, but I've never actually saw them wrestle. So they're actually pretty good. Alright, let's talk about the last thing and the main thing I'm going to talk about. The Bloodline and friends, I guess you can say. Anyways, they had Solo Sikoa out and with the rest of the Bloodline basically talking about how, Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso are going to keep continuously getting their asses beat until they acknowledge him as the tribal chief. And we mentioned how Jimmy went over to Raw to talk to Jay and how Jay didn't want nothing to do with it and that no one's going to help him, so he might as well just, come over to our side and just let me be the tribal chief and everything else. As he had mentioned Jay, the crowd was like yeeting, and Solo said no yeet. But boy, was he wrong, because there was all yeets, because Mr. Yeetman was there himself, and he made his appearance through the audio, he came through the crowd like he always do, and he was yeeting, they were yeeting, everybody was yeeting. It was a yeet session, everybody's like all yeeted up. And he got to the ring and he looks at Solo like, oh, go ahead, dude, do the rope thing, do your yeet thing, get it over with, get it out your system, like, go ahead. So he did the rope, he went on the top rope and he did the yeet and everything else. So then Jey Uso, was talking to Solo, basically he told Solo, like, I get it, you don't like Roman, I have my problems with Roman too. Wouldn't it be crazy if Jey Uso joined Solo's fucking Bloodline? I mean, he's not, but that would be crazy. But he's like, yeah, I get it. You have a problem with his Roman Reigns, and you want to deal with it and everything else. He was talking about how you follow it's earned, and you don't get to just take it and everything else and stuff like that. But he said, like, why do you have to break up the family to do so? Right? And Solo's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not trying to break up the family. I'm trying to bring the family together. And he's like, you could be a part of it, all you gotta do is acknowledge me as your tribal chief and everything else. And then Jay's like, yeah, okay, cool, but like, you want to bring the family together, that's great, but like, why did you bring them in? And he's like, Tonga and Jacob, and you got him Jacob effects, like Jacob who keeps staring at me, and he kept talking, if he keeps staring at me, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. That's not what he really said, but basically I would have kicked his ass if he keeps staring at me, because Jacob was looking at him like he was a fucking snack, like he was gonna devour his ass. Anyway, so Solo basically just said, hey, you told Jay, you can either be in the Bloodline with us or you're out. And Jay never really gave an answer. He was just like, that's cool and everything, but like he didn't really give a yes or no answer. He just kind of just like, hey, fine, whatever you need to do, what you got to do. But the next time I see you, it's gonna be different. You know what I mean? So he leaves the ring. They have a scene backstage where, I guess Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso was coming out of the SUV. I guess they're listening to some rapper song that hasn't come out yet. I don't know. Anyways, and then you see Jay coming out from back to the stage into the parking lot. I guess he's like leaving the arena or whatever. And Jimmy's like surprised to see him there, like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what's happening, right? He's trying to dap him up, but he basically just ignored him and then he walks away, and as he's walking, Roman Reigns kind of grabbed him. Roman Reigns looks at his title and says, hey, I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you. And Jay just looked at him and was like, no yeet. And then walked away. And then Roman Reigns told Jimmy, see, I told you so. Right? Which, I mean, what did you expect? You said last week, no yeet. Okay? So, he probably was just repeating what, you told, what he heard from you, Roman. Anyways, backstage, you had Roman and Jimmy, sitting backstage, and basically Jimmy was like telling Roman, it's like, hey, you need to talk to, brother Jay. And Roman's like, well, you already tried that, and I tried that. You see what happened? No, I'm not going to talk to him, right? And Jimmy's like, well, and he's like, what are you going to do? And then he's like, I have an idea. I'm going to handle it my way. And he's like, well, what is that? Right? And Roman Reigns like, I'm just going to acknowledge Solo. And you hear the cow call OTC and no and everything else like that. So Roman Reigns goes to the ring, and Solo comes after, right? And they're basically talking back and forth. They're basically saying that, like, Roman Reigns is like, I'm trying to get us back to like a bloodline again, trying to get us back to the promised land, trying to get back to the way we were. We were getting championships and money from the heavens and everything else, and all this other stuff like that. And he's like, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to fix this? Because, I told my dad, that I could fix this. I could fix this problem. R.I.P. to his father. But, and Solo was like, well, it's simple. There's only one thing you need to do to fix this is to acknowledge me. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just acknowledge me. So Roman Reigns is like, okay, fine, I'll acknowledge you. I will acknowledge you. I acknowledge you, Solo. And Solo was like, nah, not enough, not good enough. No. I need more. I need you to acknowledge me as your tribal chief. I need you to give me that. I need you to acknowledge me for a tribal chief, or else. And then Roman Reigns with anger management classes that are not working, I guess, because he got really angry. He was like, or else what? Right? And Solo's like, see, I knew it. You didn't change. You didn't change at all. You still got that little blah 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 in you, whatever, that anger in you or something like that. So since you didn't change, I didn't change. And he snaps his fingers, and here comes the bloodline with and they are dragging Jimmy Uso out because they beat the brakes off of him. And Solo tried to get a cheap shot on Roman Reigns, pretty much Superman punches him, and then here comes the rest of the bloodline, and for a minute Roman had the best of them, but basically it was 4 against 1, and no, Jay did not come back and save him or anything like that. That didn't happen, and basically just left them. Like, Roman Reigns was like, his ass was beat with the bloodline, was putting the ones up. So, here's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. On Monday, since Jey Uso got into Solo's business, I would not be surprised if Solo sends Jacob over to be the one to cause Jey Uso to lose his title. right? So, and then maybe, you know, maybe maybe even the rest of the bloodline comes out with Jacob, like I'm talking about the Tongas, and maybe then Roman Reigns and Jimmy goes and saves Jay, and maybe this will be the olive branch I was telling you about last week when I was like, oh yeah, this is probably what's going to go down. How it's going to go down, you know, they're going to save him, and then they're going to be able to, like, okay, you saved me, at least I owe you something, you know what I mean? Give you something. So maybe that will give them the olive branch to go and everybody go talk to each other, for like Roman and Jay and Jimmy to actually have some conversation with one another. I also think that I would not be surprised whoever wins the tag team for the number one contenders match on next week, that the maybe the Usos won't cause that a distraction for the Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa to lose their titles, so that no one has a title, because I would rather have it to where nobody has a title. If they're going to the Civil War thing, I don't want nobody to have the title, right? The Jey Uso shouldn't have the title, the Bloodline shouldn't have the title, nobody should have the title. So if like Tama Tonga or Tonga Loa or Jacob Fatu causes Jey Uso to lose his title, I think it's only fair that Jey Uso and the Usos and Roman Reigns have like the Bloodline lose their titles. I think it's only fair. That's how I would do it anyway. But yeah, so I'm seeing the Bloodline interfering in Jay's Bloodline 2.0 solo to interfere in Jay's match, and Jay and Jimmy are interfering in the tag team match. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye!